Hello Aries, welcome to my channel. This is going to be your July 2025 reading for Sun, Moon and Rising. We are going to get a theme for you for the month of July. I am using my Moonology deck over here. And then we're going to look at where you're at, what you want, what's working in your favor, potential challenge, like the outcome, and a message from Spirit. So let's see, Aries. What is going on for you? Fixed moon. Hold your vision. This month is going to be testament to your commitment and your conviction. You have a vision, but this month, because it's the theme card, right? You may have many distractions. You're trying to kind of splinter your attention in many different ways. And this month is all about how do you return back to the vision you have for happiness, for your security, for life in general. But there is a vision you have, almost like a mission, and it's really important that this month, even if you get a little bit distracted, that you return back to it. It's all about how adamant can you remain? What does that vision really mean? Is it really that important? That's going to be the test, okay? So I'm using my deck here, Telepathic Tarot. It'll be available in a couple of weeks on my website, if you're interested. Okay, let's have a look. Aries. I'll lay the cards out and clarify before I show you. Start the month off, Five of Swords, Desire, the Hangman, working in your favor, the Emperor, Knives. Challenge, Wheel of Fortune, and outcome is the Three of Cups. Okay, so we do have a positive outcome, but we have a kind of a positive energy, and the challenge for the month are both major arcana. So they're going to kind of, it's going to be a little bit of a seesaw ride for you. I'll explain it in a moment. It's like the pendulum, backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. And that could be to do with the vision that you have. 1 minute you're on board, the next week. Okay, let's have a look here quickly. We've got the Five of Swords, we've got the Ten of Pentacles, Hangman, we've got King of Wands, Emperor, we've got the Nine of Swords, Wheel of Fortune, we've got the Page of Swords, Three of Cups, we've got the Death card. So we do have a very positive outcome for you, Aries. Let's talk through this. We've got the Five of Swords with the Ten of Pentacles. So we start the month off, and this is where you have kind of like the vision. Your vision's got everything to do with either your family situation, right? Your family unit, or sense of security. Because Ten of Pentacles often talks about kind of financial wealth, property. It can talk about inheritance as well. So for some of you might be on the receiving end of finances as you start the month, and you're kind of deciding what is good for you to do it, okay? In this card here, the Five of Swords. Five of Swords is a card. Five is a challenge, and sword energy is the mental body. Now, in the card that I've painted here, it is perhaps the most disturbing card. There's two very disturbing cards that I painted. It was a horrible energy to get into to paint it, but I had to really portray it. And really the story how I've depicted this is how the guy decides he's working for his own sense of status and power, right? But in the moment, if you can look at his expression, in the moment of action where even though he's in performance mode, he recognizes the hurt that he's creating. Meaning that he's kind of figuring out that he might be winning a battle but losing the war, right? Meaning that it might be a short-term win, and so he maybe needs to and he figures it out in the moment. Now, on the positive side of this card, particularly with the Rider-Waite deck, right, it talks about kind of deciding not to move away from the crowds, and to moving away from other people's interpretation or impressions of you, and kind of just following what's actually really, really good for you. But we've got everything to do with kind of finances and security with this Ten of Pentacles here. So it seems to me like you start the month off kind of going, I will win at all costs to get a sense of security that is mine and mine alone, so I can support myself and my loved ones. Right? That is my goal. And I don't care how I'll get there, but that's my vision. Now, for the hold your vision card to even show up, basically says, its spirit says, yes, 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 yes. It is important to kind of fixate on the sense of security or wealth or finance or connected to family that is going to serve you. Now, for some of you, you might be receiving money, but then you may have, friends and family kind of going, oh, can I have a little bit of that? And this is where those cards are basically saying, no, it's yours. You have ideas, you have plans for this, right? So it's got that kind of energy. Obviously, it's an energetic thing, so it will be different for everybody, but it's really important that you figure out, you got to sort yourself out first before you can lend the helping hand to others. It's important that you create that foundation for yourself so that you can share with others once it's created, but it's still in the beginning stages of it. It's not even been realized yet. So do whatever it is you can to do that, okay? Now, your desire, I feel like you're a bit tired because your desire is you just need some space and some time to ponder. We've got the Hanged Man with the King of Wands, okay? Part of the vision of creating that sense of security is bossing up in some way, okay? Now, King of Wands is your energy, Aries, okay? King of Wands, entrepreneur, leader, nurtures what he wants into reality and creates it, delegates it, delegates the smaller duties to others so he can be the one who holds a vision and kind of sees it through. But it feels to me like you're wanting a little bit of time to be in that hangman phase to ensure that you see it from all aspects, to make sure that the vision is holding true, right? That you're not kind of missing any tricks along the way. Now the hangman, he suspends himself upside down, the tree of knowledge, to ensure that he's seeing all perspectives. But usually it is a bit of a timing card as well. There's a delay. You need to hold still and observe for a bit, right? So it feels to me like you're a bit busy as you start the month, and you know what it is you want, and you're kind of on that trajectory. But what you desire is actually a bit of time out just to kind of take stock and investigate your vision of how you are actually your own boss, right? How you are in the driving seat of your life, right? Rather than being in the passenger seat of your life where someone else is driving the vehicle, which is not going to work. It's never going to work, right? What's working in your favor, once again, is you standing super strong and powerful in the Emperor, which is your card, right? The Emperor is divine masculine and very strategic. He delegates, similar to the King of Wands. He delegates. He holds the vision. He brings people together to create what the vision is. He is the overseer. He is the person who revitalizes the idea and the vision with power, enthusiasm, and skill. We've got the Nine of Swords over here, which can talk about kind of like a little bit of anxiety, but this is in your power. This is happening in your power. So we see you taking charge of any sort of kind of like mental. It's like you've got this goal and you want to boss up, right? So you want to kind of be in your own driving seat of your life, and it seems to be kind of work related more so than anything else that I'm getting here. But the vision, the motivation behind it is the sense of security, right? Whether that's a house or money or whatever, okay, whatever that means for you. But what's working in your favor is because you are enabling yourself to stand true to what you are, which is the Emperor, because that's your card, Aries. you are planning things and finding strategies outside the box that will make the work that you do more efficient, right? This enables you to calculate multiple variations or outcomes of the step-by-step actions that you are implementing, which would soften the mind and give you a sense of peace, because usually when we embark on a big endeavor like that, there is an infinite amount of things that could occur. It never usually goes according to plan. But for you, what I see is you're kind of like 10 steps ahead of the game. And that is the thing that is enabling you not to be anxious about it and kind of go, okay, well, if it goes in this direction, that's cool, I will do this X, Y, and Z. And if it goes in that direction, that's cool, I can call on Joe and Adif. Adif? Who's Adif? Oh. Adif is someone who's channeled by Rob Gothia, I think. How interesting. That's a weird name. Came out. Anyway. So you're kind of problem solving and you're thinking, you're 10 steps ahead. And this is the thing that's positive, that's helping you this month to hold that vision. Now we do have a bit of a challenge, but it's just a challenge. And because you've thought of every kind of backup plan, I think it's not going to be a major challenge. I think it's just going to be something that you are kind of like, oh, I wish it hadn't gone that way, but okay, let's deal with it. It's going to take longer, but let's deal with it. We got the Wheel of Fortune, the Page of Swords. Okay, so what you thought you might have had a handle on, right, that wheel, you thought you were holding on to the driving seat over there. In fact, you get some news that comes in that doesn't support it and wants you to do, a 180 in the opposite direction. The Wheel of Fortune over here, there's a lot of kind of foam. He's in a bit of a storm in his boat, and he's kind of heading to the calmer shores there and to the island, which represents his sense of wealth and sense of security. But he's still there now. Normally you're in the direction of that, but it feels to me like there's a challenge that comes on in through communication with the Page of Swords, right? It's not big, but it basically feels to me like someone's going to ask you to do to go in the opposite direction first. It's just a challenge. It's weird. I'm picking up on, it's a card in this deck, right? The Sacred Destiny deck, where there's a card, I forget exactly what it's called, but it's I can't remember what it's called, but it's a picture of nighttime and a river flowing all over the place. And what the card really means is that follow the meandering flow. Because sometimes we think the quickest way to a place that we want to go is straight as the crow flies. But sometimes we have to, maybe that would be against the current. And so sometimes that would actually take much longer. Sometimes when we go along the meandering river, we get caught up in the current and we actually reach our destination faster. And this is the kind of energy I'm getting with this. This is why it's going to be a challenge, because it's going to be like, well, no, that makes no logical sense to go around, go in the opposite direction, across that mountain to get to where I want to go faster. It doesn't make sense. Go with it. Go with the flow, because I feel like it's going to actually serve you if you allow yourself to go with that, to move with the tides, right? The outcome is great. You're celebrating. We got the Three of Cups clarified by the Death card. Okay, so by the end of the month, we see you having reason to celebrate, right? Three of Cups could be friends, family. It could be like workshops. It could be colleagues, networking, and it creates a major change for you. So it feels to me, so if we were to like create a little scenario, like a fantastical scenario for the kind of energy. Say, for example, you are a captain of a ship and you know you've bought an island, right? And now you know that represents your sense of security. And now you are setting sail to reach your island, to have your sense of security and your happy ever after, and you're in the driving seat. That's why you're the captain, right? But on the way, a big storm comes and makes it very, very difficult. The tide is against you, so you can't actually reach the the deserted island, your island that you've already purchased. Instead, you get pulled from the current into the opposite direction, into another island that you weren't aware of because it wasn't on your radar, because that wasn't where you were heading. And you met people there who were going to help you at the destination. Meaning, you met people there that were creating contacts, and you were able to establish say for example, a system, a regular system of them providing you with goods and supplies on a regular basis at your, in order to make you feel a bit more sustainable and secure at your new island home, right? So that would mark a change in the situation. So the meandering kind of direction sets you in a different course that will aid and benefit the end result, the vision that you have, right? So that's why Spirit is saying hold your vision. You're getting there, you just may look like you're going in the opposite direction to get there, right? That's a very long-winded way of explaining it, but that's the energy I get. So, fun. Lots of fun, Aries. Okay, let us see what Spirit has to say for you. What does Aries need to know for July 2025, please? This wants to jump out. Ooh, boundaries. Where do you need to establish better boundaries? Okay, so this is literally referring more so to the people in your life that have certain expectations of you that may be distracting you from your vision. It feels to me that you're still on course because the Emperor energy is really, really strong. But it also connects this to this beginning card here of 10 of Pentacles and the 5 of Swords. So if you've been on the receiving end of wealth or a sense of security that you didn't see coming, you may feel kind of pressurized to share the wealth and ignore your vision for your own sense of security. And this is what Spirit is saying. It's important to establish better boundaries, okay? Yes, I can do that. No, I cannot. I love you, but not today. Those sorts of things, right? Always difficult to say no, but it's really important if you want to realize this vision for the future, which has got everything to do with your sense of security and how you are your own leader, all right? So that's what I have for you. I hope it helped. I hope it resonated, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.